All right, everyone, welcome back to Live Now from Fox. The Friday edition continues on right now. It is a busy day. We have protests happening all across the country, anti-ICE ones. We have some severe weather that will be coming to the Northeast once again. Just last week, portions of the Northeast were dealing with snow. Now the nor'easter is going to be coming, so we'll be talking about that a little bit later here on Live Now from Fox. But we want to continue right now to talk about one of our top stories that we have been following for you, and it was another Epstein Files dump today, and not just a dump, it was a blizzard of files. We're talking 3.5 million more Epstein Files that dropped there, so we have reporters that are continuing to scour that information right now and picking up all of the different facts as well as key details in this. I want to continue to talk about this, bring in our next guest right now to help break it all down from Politico. Haley Fuchs, great to have you on, Haley. I know this just dropped a little bit ago, but what are some of the key details that you are picking up on and want to share?
So thanks so much for having me. I think what's really interesting is that we're already seeing people aren't satisfied with what's in the files, even as people are still going through these millions and millions of files, which will take days, if not weeks, to adequately go through. My colleagues and I are scouring them, looking for new information about the Epstein case and about potential people who had relationships with Epstein. And it's quite interesting to see some prominent names mentioned in these files.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And do you think, I mean, they could release 6 million, 8 million different files, unless it has really clear things in an email, the public will never be satisfied, correct?
I mean, what Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche said earlier today was he believed that the American public would never truly be satisfied. I think people want answers about this case, and I think it's a valid point. I think that Americans likely won't be satisfied, potentially ever.
Yeah, so true about that, Haley. I want to play out the Blanche sound right now. Stay with us right here. I just want to play it out about quick 40 seconds for our audience here.
Or not protect anybody. I mean, I think that there's a hunger or a thirst for information that I do not think will be satisfied by the review of these documents. And there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah, so exactly what we were just talking about there, Haley, where that the thirst is there for the information, but the satisfaction might not come with it.
Yeah, and I think that the Epstein saga has also kind of become a potent political tool, both for Democrats and for Republicans at different points in time. And because of that, I think the Epstein saga has kind of taken a life on a life of its own beyond just kind of the interest in the case itself.
And what are some other key details that you have been finding out throughout the day regarding these latest files that have come out?
So we're seeing the names of some prominent people in these files. We are seeing names like Elon Musk, seeing names like Bill Gates. And so we're kind of trying to paint a picture of who was close to Jeffrey Epstein, who knew him, and how he kind of like amassed this power in powerful circles.
And then also, Haley, while we have these powerful figures here, it seems like it was a lot of emails that Jeffrey Epstein would do to other people where they were trying maybe to put them in a negative light.
Certainly, it appears that Epstein, at times carried animosity towards people. And yeah, there was, I believe, an email where he appeared to have some anger towards Bill Gates for abandoning him. And it's interesting to get a picture of who this man was as we are learning about the terrible crimes that he committed.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Haley, thanks so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. We appreciate all the updates here, and we know it's just getting started for you and your team.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. All right, everyone, we are continuing on right here on Live Now from Fox. The Oversight Dems putting this out on X, saying we will get justice, release all the files now. And that statement saying that Donald Trump and his Department of Justice have now made it clear that they intend to withhold roughly 50% of the Epstein files while claiming to have fully complied with the law. This is outrageous and incredibly concerning. The Oversight Committee subpoena directs Pam Bondi to release all the files to the committee while protecting survivors. They are in violation of the law. We are demanding the names of Epstein's co-conspirators and the men and pedophiles who abused women and girls. We will begin a thorough review of this latest limited production. But let's be clear, our work and investigation are just getting started here. So we want to continue to bring you some of the analysis here for this one of our top stories of the day. I want to bring in our next guest to help break it all down for us, Attorney John Day, legal analyst. Great to have you on, John. The last time we talked, it was really the first trove of Epstein Files drop. This one, just a blizzard of information, 3.5 million files released here, and still, John, the public is not happy.
You know, thanks for having me. This should be the last drop of files, documents, video, photographs. At least that's what the Department of Justice says. But there's so much to sort through, and we're already seeing, you know, the names of prominent men, Elon Musk, Bill Gates. You know, some of them are the usual suspects and some are new, but there's so much to sort through. And if you are cynical or skeptical, you might say, is everything out there? Because remember, there are a lot of documents last time that were completely redacted. So this is not the end of the Epstein case. This is just maybe the end of the beginning, but this is actually going to drag on for years as people sort through the documents and connect the dots.
And will it maybe go as long as the years? Because now it seems like AI, is AI going to be really helping in this situation by really just sending the info to AI and trying to plug away?
Well, that's going to cut out a lot of time and effort, isn't it? If you dump the entire 3 million pages and 180,000 photographs or videos, whatever it is, eventually there's going to be an AI analysis which could sort it all out and give us an evaluation that is the final analysis. And of course, that's probably what's going to take place. But it still doesn't explain something. It doesn't matter how much AI work you do to analyze the documents. You've still got America's elite. You've got the elite, the leaders of society, politics, entertainment, finance, who all circled around Epstein like a concentric circle with him in the middle. And what was it that they got from him? Why did they like this guy so much? What was he offering that they couldn't get anywhere else? I mean, your guess is as good as mine, but it still doesn't explain why the elite of America liked this guy so much.
You know, John, I think that's such a solid point there, because you have just these highly successful people that are you know, talking to this individual, even knowing of all the implications that would happen if you continue to talk to this person, knowing that maybe Epstein was an asset or something like that. But to have that much on a person and still being able to talk to him, it really raises some questions.
Well, it does. And, you know, first thing, remember, you got to remember that these files, it's not like somebody has vouched for everything that's in here. This is simply the files that the Department of Justice had. It doesn't mean that everything that's submitted that relates to President Trump or Bill Gates or Bill Clinton or Woody Allen or Elon Musk, it doesn't mean that those things are accurate. It just means that they were collected in the course of putting these things together. So, you know, you've always got to be skeptical about what's in there and what people are saying. It doesn't mean that this was something that somebody has vetted through a law enforcement investigation or a court proceeding. It's just information, and people can use that in good or bad ways. But it does reflect that Epstein was at the center of this world that most of us don't know anything about. I mean, none of us were invited to his mansion for parties, and it's a good thing too. But we weren't having parties and drinks with, you know, Prince Andrew or Bill Gates or Bill Clinton. I mean, for the rest of us who are watching this take place, it's a little bit of insight into how corrupt and crooked the people at the very top can be, whether it's morally or ethically. But, you know, for the rest of us, this is not our world.
And John, does it also maybe show with all these files that were on this one particular person, Jeffrey Epstein, how much maybe red tape there is in federal government for investigations when you can have all this information and really kind of drag the feet through investigations?
And that's exactly right. I mean, there was so much information about this guy, both at the state and federal level. So many people were aware of what's going on. You do have to ask yourself, why didn't something happen sooner? Was somebody protecting him? Remember, he got an incredibly sweetheart deal in Florida from the U.S. attorney, where basically he got to, work out of his home. He didn't have to spend the night in the jail the way that everybody else would. So there are a lot of things here that are a lot of questions that are unanswered. But at the end of the day, this document dump with the videos, the photographs, apparently there's a lot of commercial pornography that was in Epstein's possession that has nothing to do with investigations or allegations. But at the end of the day, this was this guy's life, and a lot of people were drawn to it, and a lot of people are trying to cover themselves right now.
Yeah, a lot of people trying to run away from those conversations or emails or texts that they're part of right now. John Day, thanks so much for joining us on Live Now from Fox. Always great analysis. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You take care. All right, everyone. We will continue to follow the latest here in the Epstein Files saga. And you saw there earlier, DOJ announcing that release of 3 million pages of Epstein Files. Today, we are producing more than 3 million pages, including more than 2,000 videos and 180,000 images. That is from U.S. Deputy Attorney Todd Blanche saying earlier. All right, everyone, we are going to take another 2-minute break here on Live Now. Stay right here with us. More to come in moments.